Okay, guys, moving on here. So there used to be only 3 steps to buying a home. Looks like those have went to 10 steps at this point in time. Doesn't surprise anybody. There's a lot more to do when you're buying the house. And so what we want to do is just kind of prepare you. If you're going out to buy a house, these are 10 things you can do that's going to help you be a little more prepared to do that. Obviously, you have to work with professionals in our area who are going to be able to guide you. But these are just things you can do along the way to help get started there. So I'll start with number 1. So the first thing to do is just determine your readiness. If you're listening to this show or even listening to this segment right here, maybe you're ready to take that first step to try to find out, are you ready to buy a house? Because I am a firm believer that owning a house is not for everybody. Have you guys ever come across people who just aren't really sure about that yet?
Oh, yeah. That's kind of the phone call I get of, hey, I kind of think I may want to buy a house. Well, what do I do? Yeah. That's a phone call I get.
It's interesting.
Which would be number 1 on your list. And then leading into number 2, which is to, figure out if you're an optimal mortgage candidate, which is what the first thing I tell people. Hey, you're thinking of buying a house. What you need to do is call a lender and see if you can qualify and make sure that, the numbers work for you. Everything's laid out for you to move forward with that home purchase plan.
If somebody called you and said, hey, I'm looking to buy a house, or David, I'm interested in buying one of your houses. And so you tell them, hey, go see Mike. If you have a lender, go talk to your lender. And what are you guys looking for them to get from that lender?
I'm looking for them to verify their credit is what they think it is, and that they can get a pre-approval or actual approval would be ideal.
For me, Chris, it's a little different, because if somebody came in tomorrow and said, I want to buy a house from Capital Homes, and they wrote up a sales agreement, and then they went and they got a pre-approved the day after they wrote their contract, I wouldn't care. Why? Why wouldn't, as a home builder, would I care?
Well, it's going to take you a while to build a house.
Too.
I haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
I got some paper with some ink on it. That's all. So I try to tell people that all the time. That is one of the benefits of a new home, but it's one of the things that you really need to be cognizant of. Interesting. I'm looking at your list, and you've got, get pre-approved, and then you determine your budget, and then find a realtor. I got to be straight relative to this list. I think that ought to be number 1. I think even before you try to decide if you're ready, you ought to call Andrew.
Well, because honestly, a lot of people, if they have went forward with a pre-approval, a lot of times they've gotten a very generic one. I'm not putting any company down, but I always like people to usually call 2 people to get, because certain people's jobs have specific loan programs, and you want to make sure they're using somebody who knows what they're doing.
Working so hard like a soldier.